Okay. So I'm here with my friend who I'm going to show a couple of things to, and I appreciate your helping me out. So what I'm going to show her first, and anyone who's listening, is how to get centered. Now, the first thing I would invite you to do is to just begin noticing however your body is being supported. If you're sitting down, you can notice the seat that you're sitting on. If your feet are on the floor, you can notice the firmness of the floor. If some parts of your body are resting on other parts of your body, you can notice what those sensations are like. There are a whole variety of sensations, and the point is not so much the sensations as it is the way that you could relate to those sensations. And one way would be to make efforts to change or alter them. Not very difficult. All you'd have to do is move around just a little bit. You'd have different sensations. If you're sitting down and stand up, you have very different sensations. If you're standing up and sit down and put your feet up in the air, then again, you would have very different sensations. So, making efforts to change is one option. And another option is to just notice the sensations simply as they are without making any efforts to change or alter them. And that's the way I invite you to contact the sensations of bodily support for just a moment or two here and now. Those sensations of support are rather static, but you have the same options with more dynamic sensations like the coming and going of your breath. You don't have to do anything. Your breath will arrive and depart all on its own, without any effort from you at all. And yet, if you make some effort, you could make yourself breathe a little more rapidly or a little more slowly, so that first option of making efforts to change or alter the experience is available, and so is that second option of simply noticing the experience just as it is, here and now, which I invite you to choose for just a moment or two. And finally, there's the coming and going of your thoughts and images. By thoughts, I mean those sort of radio programs inside your head, blah, 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 blah. And by images, I mean anything with a picture. So it could be a still picture, or a moving picture, or a moving picture with sound. All of those would count. And that first option of making efforts to change thoughts and images is available, and so is the second option of just noticing the thoughts and images simply as they are while they come and go, arrive and depart, much as your breath does. And if you make that second choice, the choice of simply noticing your thoughts and images, you may also begin to notice how often thoughts and images are inviting you to go psychologically traveling with them, and to leave this moment and this place for some other moment and some other place. And just as you decline other invitations, you could decline these. You could choose to remain here and now. And then your thoughts and images, like your breath, could come and go, arrive and depart, as you remain in this moment and in this place. It's a little like sitting at a taxi cab stand. Cab pulls up, door opens, there's a thought or an image inviting you to get in and go traveling. And yet, if you simply sit, noticing the thought or image just as it is, in a while the door closes, the cab leaves, and another arrives. Another door opens, and there's another thought or image inviting you to get in and go traveling. And again, if you just sit, noticing the thought or image, in a while that door closes, that cab leaves, another arrives, and so on, and so on. And the thing is, should you recognize that you have gone psychologically traveling with a thought or an image to some other place or time, once you've recognized it, you could immediately return to this moment and this place, simply by choosing to do so. And if you make that choice, you'll make contact with a whole variety of experiences that are right here and right now, including the sensations of support for your body and the sensations that are part of the coming and going of your breath. Now, let me invite you to consider this question. As I was speaking, did you find yourself becoming more relaxed? And most people do. The important thing to notice about that fact is I never said anything about relaxing. In fact, when I began, I didn't say anything like make yourself comfortable, because this process of centering can begin at any moment without any particular preparation. And so it is with the side effect of becoming relaxed. If you're in the moment that you're actually in, and some people choose to close their eyes in that moment, but some people have their eyes open, and if your eyes are open and you look around where you are, likely you won't see any lions or tigers or bears, and you'll recognize I'm in a place that's safe, which helps you feel more relaxed. Or if you're noticing your thoughts and images and bodily sensations simply as a bunch of thoughts and images and bodily sensations, then you recognize there's nothing dangerous about them either. And so once again, this contributes to feeling more relaxed. But the point of this activity is not to bring on more relaxation. The point of this activity is to become centered and psychologically present in the moment that you actually are. When people go traveling, they accept those invitations. Sometimes they do go off to places that seem dangerous, and then they're much more ready for action, you might say, than they are when they recognize that right here, right now, there's nothing dangerous to address. And if there were something dangerous to address, all the more reason to be psychologically present with it, because you're much more likely to deal effectively with some sort of difficulty in the moment if you're actually present with it. Now, since sometimes change is useful, and sometimes it is useful to become more relaxed, let me give you a little activity that can directly address becoming more relaxed rather than simply have the side effect of relaxation from becoming centered. If you begin at the top of your head and let your attention begin drifting down through your body toward the tips of your fingers and the tips of your toes, you'll find some place where there's some bodily tension. And when you find that first place, there's something that you can notice about it. One part of that tension you seem to have some say or control about, whereas the other part you do not. Now, the part that you have some say over may be less than 1% of the total packet of tension, but it might be more than 50. Whatever percentage that little tension packet has that is controllable by you, I invite you to turn loose of that tension. Let it go. Dismiss it. And for the remainder, to hold it gently, as if you had your hands cupped and that tension were resting there. And regardless of how tight or loose it was, you could hold it in a particular way, namely gently. So take that remainder tension that you are holding gently and move to the next place of tension in your body, repeating the process of letting go of the tension you can let go of, holding gently the remainder, and then again moving on throughout your body, looking for places of tension, releasing, holding gently, releasing, holding gently, until finally you reach the tips of your fingers and the tips of your toes. Having gotten there, releasing all the tension that you can and holding gently the remainder, you now have the opportunity to be psychologically present and as relaxed as you might be to deal with the world as you find it. And I invite you to go forth and do so.